Hello, YTPC. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. It's the end of the workday, and we've got some morsels for mental manducation. But first, last time it was a small Lavat. This is a large Pipe by Lee Lavat. And in it, I have the last of my sample of Mac Barron's plum cake. And I never have gotten more than a meh out of it. I know some of y'all love it. I just don't. Now, before we dive into today's politics, which it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one, a few pictures of things that are truly important in life. Ain't he cute? The baby, I mean. I know I am. Growing like a weed, he is. Let's dive in. A fourth grade teacher in Austin highlighted the cultural battle that we are going through right now between the extreme wokeness of the left and sanity, when she said that after an in-school pride walk, this is a fourth grade teacher, 20 of her 32 students came out as LGBTQ. Yeah, right. No, they didn't. What they did, however, was demonstrate the effectiveness of your brainwashing propaganda and social pressure to not only accepting but celebrating what are in fact deviant lifestyles, deviant from the norm being biologically defined heterosexualism. You may say that's hate speech. It's not. It is the norm. Without it, the species doesn't survive. That's not a religious statement. That is a biological one. And all you've done is demonstrate your brainwashing. These kids, 9-year-olds, have no clue about their sexuality. This is child abuse. Enamored still by the idea of universal free healthcare? Some people who have been trying it for a few decades are becoming less enamored of it. According to the UK's National Health Service, number of people waiting for orthopedic surgeries like knee and hip replacements rose from 525,000 in 2020 to just under 700,000 in 2021. 1 year. More than 10% of those, more than 63,000 of those, have been waiting for more than 1 year to be able to have what is basically a straightforward surgery. And according to their numbers, a growing number are choosing to pay out of pocket rather than wait for the government approval for their surgeries. By contrast, in the horrible healthcare system of the United States, the average wait for a knee replacement is 3 weeks. That's according to the New England Journal of Medicine, not a conservative source. Now, I gave up on the NFL a few years ago when they trended toward wokeness instead of toward just doing business and providing us with sports entertainment. Well, this last week they confirmed that decision when they made the announcement that beginning next season, every team will be required to hire as an offensive assistant coach at least one racial minority and or female as an assistant coach, offensive. Not, I've got 10 applicants, I get to hire the 2 best, but I've got 10 applicants, I get to hire the best one, and then you get hired if you're a minority or a woman, even if you're not the second best applicant. If I've only got one position, I guess I'm screwed. I can't hire the best person out there. This is not American, folks. This is not how things should be working. So I gave up on them ages ago. They're just confirming that decision. They don't need my money. They simply don't. They're surviving just fine without it. Somebody who's not surviving just fine, the American military. I grew up a military brat, as many of you know. My entire life I have felt the pride that many Americans feel when we think of our military, and rightly so. Not so much anymore. U.S. Army has been trending woke. Actually, the entire Department of Defense in the United States has been trending woke toward, in particular, gender inclusion and gender identity inclusion across the board, including in the infantry. The Army just released its next year combat physical requirements test, officially called the Army Combat Fitness Test. I was close. Now, this has been like the SAT and ACT in the academic side of America. This physical fitness test has been dumbed down over the years. And it is being dumbed down even further this next year, with the largest drop for infantry going to women. That's right. The women will no longer be held to the same or similar physical standards as men in order to qualify for combat positions. So if you are a muscular weightlifting 200-pound man, and formerly all of your combat buddies were required to be able to deadlift 340 pounds and do a drag, carry drag across distance of a weight heavy enough to be your body. That will no longer be the case, because the female who is in the trenches next to you will only have been required to carry 120 pounds, half your body weight. You're stuck. This has absolutely nothing to do with combat readiness, combat efficiency, anything else. Look, if it's okay for the women to only drag 120 pounds, well, why not the men? Why do we still hold them to a higher standard? And hold on, didn't we just have a Supreme Court justice nominee who said she couldn't define what a woman was? How do we even set these standards in the military anymore? If this is not confidence inspiring to you fellow Americans, or to the rest of you around the world who have been able to rely on our military spending to keep peace in your regions, I'm looking at you, most of Europe, it should not be confidence inspiring, because wokeness isn't going to get us a better, stronger, more capable military. It simply is not. Combat effectiveness. Combat effectiveness. Determine what is needed for combat effectiveness and just make that the standard. We used to do that. We had done it. We've watered it down. Our combat effectiveness is not as effective as it once was. I certainly hope that in our next war, our opponents are willing to match their girls up against our girls, etc., so that we can have a war that is truly diverse, equitable, and inclusive. Interrupted by a call. Pardon me for that. With that, folks, light something you like. Enjoy your afternoon.